Since his return to Chelsea in 2019, Mason Mount has been one of the most talked about players at Stamford Bridge. Having formed a strong connection with Frank Lampard at Derby, the Blues Academy graduate was almost ever present during the 1920 season, with his manager choosing to play him more than any other player in the league. He also quickly gained the trust of England boss Gareth Southgate, featuring in all but one of the 11 matches his country has played since making his debut in September 2019, starting the last 5. But this faith hasn't always been reflected by the fans. Throughout last season, Chelsea supporters questioned Lampard's insistence on playing him every week, while more recently, fans of the Three Lions aimed their frustration over Jack Grealish's relative lack of game time firmly at Mount, reasoning that favouritism was blocking the Aston Villa captain's entry into the first team. Sadly, but perhaps not surprisingly, given the nature of online fan culture, these frustrations have also manifested in abuse on social media, with the youngster often scapegoated for poor Chelsea results, even following games in which he himself has played well. But with the Blues now staking their claim as serious title contenders, it appears that the public narrative around Mount is beginning to change, with fans and pundits alike now singling him out for praise, while it appears that the player himself is thriving more in Lampard's new-look team. But why are people's opinions on him beginning to change, and were fans judging him too harshly before? Let's find out. While the level of scrutiny faced by Mason Mount felt a bit much at times during the 2019-20 campaign, some of the criticism he received wasn't entirely unjustified. Despite making more league appearances than anyone else in the squad and racking up more game time than any outfield player bar club captain Cesar Azpilicueta, Mount's 7 Prem goals ranked him 5th in the squad, while his 5 assists was the same as Callum Hudson-Odoi managed in 2,000 fewer minutes. On the face of it, this output is decent. After all, Mount only turned 21 midway through the season and was playing Premier League football for the first time. But following an exciting start to the campaign in which he netted 4 times in his first 8 appearances, the youngster scored just 3 more in the following 29, leading to a perception that he simply wasn't contributing enough in games. And the numbers seemed to back this up. His 1.1 shots in the box per 90 was beaten by 7 teammates, while his 1.6 key passes per 90 was level with Marcos Alonso and only marginally more than N'Golo Kanté. This is certainly below par for an attacking midfielder in a Champions League side, and one that generated more expected goals than champions Liverpool in 2019-20. But so far this season, Mount is proving the doubters wrong. While Chelsea's influx of top-class attacking talent in the summer threatened to see the youngster's name fall down the pecking order, the 21-year-old has only thrived more with the heightened quality around him. He may only have a goal and 2 assists from 11 league appearances so far this season, contributing to a goal less often than he was last term, but he is overall much more involved in attacking play. Mount now attempts 54 passes a match, the highest average of his career and a significant rise on his 38 passes a game last season. And he is far more useful in possession too. His balls into the final third have risen to 4.6 per 90, and his passes into the box have risen to 1.6 per 90. Meanwhile, his progressive passes, the metric used to denote balls which progress the ball at least 10 yards up the pitch from its furthest point in the previous 6 passes, have taken a big leap to 5.2, a figure which places him above Jorginho, N'Golo Kanté and Kai Havertz. As well as improving his passing game, he's also become better at receiving the ball and holding onto it. Last term, he often got stick for losing possession at crucial moments, with Christian Pulisic, who was attempting far more dribbles than anyone else in the side, the only player to get dispossessed more than his 4.2 times per 90 minutes. This has dropped to 3.3 in 1920, and despite now playing in a deeper position, his chance creation has also skyrocketed. He now creates 2.4 chances per 90, almost 1 more a match on last term. For context, he ranked 6th in the Blues squad in this metric last season, and in 2021 only Hakim Ziyech generates more among teammates to have started more than 1 game. Meanwhile, only Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, James Rodriguez and Jack Grealish have registered more than his 23 key passes in the league this term. His increased influence on the side was perhaps best illustrated in his performance in Chelsea's 3-1 win over Leeds. As well as winning possession as many times as Kanté, he also created 7 goal-scoring opportunities, more than any Blues player had managed in a single game in the last 5 seasons. But while he is seemingly making a bigger and more consistent impact on matches this season, this hasn't been a surprise to Frank Lampard, who had always planned to start the 21-year-old regularly this term despite the increased competition in the midfield and forward areas. Perhaps the prime reason why Lampard has persisted with Mount since taking over at Chelsea is his work off the ball. The Blues boss likes his attackers and midfielders to press, and the Englishman is always keen to win back possession. His defensive output in that win over Leeds is no exception. Mount ranked 5th in the squad at Derby for tackles per game in 2018-19, and last term no one at Stamford Bridge aside from Mateo Kovacic attempted more than his 22.8 pressures per 90. Fast forward to this season and his defensive output has hardly dropped. While he is attempting slightly fewer pressures, he is also winning a higher percentage of them. He's also now winning 2.3 tackles a match, almost double the 1.2 he averaged last season, while his 70% tackle success rate is also an improvement on 55% in 2019-20. In the words of his manager, "I rely on Mason a lot. He brings so much to the team in his work ethic and the way he can start the press in midfield." And this work ethic is something that's always been reflected in Mount's approach on the training ground too. Widely regarded as one of Chelsea's most diligent workers, he often stays after hours to do extra drills, often with Lampard. Having worked with him for the entirety of his short managerial career, it's clear Mount has become essential to the way Lampard's teams operate. Something which has only become more evident since he was moved back into the midfield. So while the general consensus on Mount is that he has improved a lot this season, he certainly isn't working any harder than before, and while technical elements of his game are bound to improve quickly at his young age, the fact he is playing in a position which better suits his game has been the defining factor. In November, Mount admitted that the number 8 role has always been his favourite to play, and judging by the stats we've already highlighted, he has a lot more freedom to progress the ball deeper in the midfield than he did while positioned at 10 and as a wide forward last term. On the left of a midfield 3, the 21-year-old has formed an excellent understanding with left-back Ben Chilwell, who himself has enjoyed an excellent start to life at Stamford Bridge. With Timo Werner very much playing a wide forward role rather than that of a winger, Chilwell is Chelsea's prime threat down the left flank, and Mount has been excellent in providing cover for the former Leicester man when he bombs forward, which goes some way to explaining why his defensive output has increased so much. He also provides Chilwell with a passing option if he's unable to cross, and can come into the forward slot if Werner wants to drop into the midfield to pick up the ball and drive from deep. Something also helped by having the assured presence of Conte back on form. Mount's high energy and work rate creates space for his teammates to operate more freely on the left side of the pitch, and as evidenced by his increased creative output, has only become more involved in attacking play from a deeper position. The only area of his game that has regressed has been his shooting. While he still takes 2.4 shots per 90, the same as last season, only 25% of them come from inside the box, compared with a much healthier 46% last term. But with the Blues forward line now filled with a number of match winners, the goal-scoring burden on Mount has decreased significantly on last year. At the time of writing, only one other player in the Premier League is averaging over 2 shots, 2 key passes and 2 tackles a match this season, Kevin De Bruyne. While Mount's ability to press and willingness to do the dirty work has seen him held in high regard by Frank Lampard since day one, his heightened productivity this term has made everyone else take notice too. Right now, he's one of the best all-round midfielders in the league, and at 21 already possesses the kind of experience and intelligence few others do at his age. And as long as he continues to improve, his number of doubters will shrink by the second. So that was why everyone was wrong about Mason Mount, but what do you make of his progress this season? Let us know in the comments below and we'll do our best to reply. If you want to see us do a deep dive on another subject of your choice, let us know in the comments below too, and don't forget to leave us a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you want to see more from where this came from, why not hop on over to EFD, where we looked at why Arsenal fans have been proved wrong about Arsene Wenger. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.